It's great that you're here. I've been trying to, is it comfortable?
Yeah.
Yeah? Too comfortable, isn't it?
Yeah, if I fall asleep, just wake me up.
I will. So, let's quickly, I have some notes about you. First of all, you started angel investment in 1996.
1996, yes.
And for your own information as well, he did the first investment in 1996. It was to ICQ, and the company was acquired by AOL just after 19 months.
That's true.
It's perfect. And then you kept doing investments like Foxy Tunes, Two Cows. Two Cows hatırlayan var mı arkadaşlar? Who remembers Two Cows? Yeah, a few. They are the really oldest people here, I think. Two
Cows is now one of the biggest registrar of domains.
That's right. And then you did a couple of other investments as well. Most of them are acquired by companies, and like Answers.com went public. And you've been an advisor to CEOs of companies like AOL and Amazon. So you did so many things. So, are you still investing?
Much less. I invested heavily until like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Right now, the space which I like and which I invest, which is consumer-facing internet applications, it became very crowded. So I have to decide how to play it. You know, with 1 million and more applications on Android and similar number on Apple, it's become quite tricky to decide where you should invest.
So, if you were investing now, what would be your best bets? Which area?
I guess my best bet now would be to invest. Let's see what are the markets which are now growing.
Yeah.
Markets which are now growing are middle class. You know, in most of the world, middle class is now growing very fast. Turkey, Russia, China, India, Brazil, in many countries. So the question is what middle class is buying. You know, when people are joining the middle class, what they are buying. And I will tell you what they buy.
What?
They buy toilet papers. So the future is in toilet paper.
Okay, so
we just have to make it digital. You know.
Can we make a mobile app for toilet papers? Is it possible?
You saw what happened with the guy who created mobile app to buy razor blades, which is the same thing.
Yeah.
You know, $1 razor blade. It's a huge.
Do you know what will happen now? Everybody will start tweeting that Yossi Vardi wants to invest in toilet papers.
This will increase the price of toilet papers.
Yeah, that's right. So, like, seriously, like, what would you invest in other than toilet papers?
We see a number of very important trends. If we to be serious, number one, television is undergoing huge change. You know, it's just the beginning, but we now know that the same paradigms which we see on the mobile are moving to the television. The early bird is this streamer which Google came, Chromecast. For $35 you can buy a device.
It's a good product.
Right now you can use it only for YouTube and Netflix, but very soon I'm sure you will see many similar things. Another thing, which is another trend which is very important, and Arkady mentioned it, and you should listen very carefully to Arkady because he really see what's coming on, because he sits on such a huge amount of data and see what people are interested. The ability to crowdsource on real time what's going on in different things and integrate the data to one system gives many opportunities. He mentioned transportation, which is one of the most obvious and earliest and most important things, but we are going to see it in many, let me close my phone, in many other areas. So the freedom of big data, that people are now willing to put big data and enabling other people to use it and create a mesh of big data will create and creating major opportunities. I saw an application which shows you a map in New York of restaurants and a map in New York of cockroaches. And when you put one on the other, you can derive a lot of conclusion. You can know where there are a lot of cockroaches in the restaurant, and if you are cockroaches connoisseur, if you like to eat cockroaches, you can go there. If you want to avoid them, you know where to go, not to go. So this is a very simple example. Now, take the same approach, and you can correlate any two things and get very interesting result. It was not possible until 7-8 years ago because each one data was like silos. Each one was sitting on its own data, not correlating it with somebody who's doing totally different thing. Of course, this raises issues of privacy as we see, but this is another huge opportunity which I think going to explode in the next few years. We know that video is growing immensely, which is really huge. We just saw last week that the biggest single entertainment product in the history of the world regarding revenues was launched 2 weeks ago. This was another video game, so video games are taking over entertainment big time. So there are a lot of opportunities all over the place. You need the result, you need the funding, you need the idea, you need the determination, and you can go.
Actually, you gave a couple of examples, but I was going to ask, like, you invested in ICQ in 1996, and so company had an idea, they had this product, and a funding. So
funding was not much, by the way. The whole company started on $75,000.
Really?
Yeah, and when
ICQ was just funded for,
the first.
The seed money was $75,000.
Yeah, when we sold it, what was invested in the company was $3 million. But at that time it was easy because there were no players.
What has changed since then? I was going to ask that.
What has changed? A lot of things have been changed.
Only a product, idea, or funding is not enough, I think, now.
I tell you what has changed and what didn't change. What has changed, the industry became much more mature. If you want a little bit more cynical, a little bit less ideal, like always the new things are kind of a freshness. Today it's a business, people with suits, bankers, industrialists, business people dominate the thing. The issue is how to get the last penny from your advertising, etc. I'm not saying it's bad, but you ask me what changed. In the beginning, it was kind of much more chaotic, much less structured, a little bit more idealistic. And the most interesting thing was that the paradigms just have been revealed. They were discovered. Everything you have done was totally new. It was quite easy to be genius in '96 because nothing was before. I tell you what didn't change, and this is very important. As in '96, the same will be in 2016. In order to succeed, you need the talent. Talent is very important. The difference between a benign product and an appealing product which get the heart of the user is the talent. Money enough is not enough. Money alone is not enough. You need the talent. You need the determination. You need the resolve. You need the go get it. You need a young guy who will decide that he wants to conquer the world. At what year did you start Webrazzi?
What?
At what year?
2006.
2006. Okay,
yeah.
so
but I was still working for a company, so I formed an official company in 2007.
2007.
Yeah.
So in that time, it was the beginning. You had already numbers of online magazines about technology, etc. I don't know how it was in Turkey, but it was quite early. Not very early, but quite early. And then again, now it's like 7 years afterwards, also the market is changing.
Yeah, it's getting more mature.
By the way, I want to tell you, I'm going to a lot of conferences, and this conference is really terrific.
Really?
You see the amount of energy in the corridors and the interest of the people and the discussions.
Oh, it's really
very impressive.
Perfect to hear this
I
from
think
you.
this guy is entitled to a round of applause.
Thank you.
If I don't promote him a little bit, maybe he doesn't invite me next year. So give him a better.
Thank you. Yes, it's really my pleasure. It's good to hear this from you, especially from you, because I know that currently you are really involved in many conferences and events around the world. Like you are co-chairman and co-host of DLD conference. Also, you're helping WPP to
I'm co-host with Martin Sorrell of Stream.
And you're helping so many events around the world. I know that you're a constant speaker of the Web conference, also going to Dublin Web Summit. So you know all events in this region.
Yeah, and this is, believe me, just in the top echelon of events.
Really? Oh, perfect. Thank you.
That's good.
Duydunuz değil mi? You hear this. Değerimi bilin. Thank you, Yossi. Okay, so
this is called a society of mutual admiration.
So,
tell me, I have a question. How you get out of this very low soft? How you after the session?
After session. Okay, so I was going to say, actually, the question was, you're involved with many events around the world. So, why are you helping all these events, and why are you really in this community? What's the reason you're not investing anymore, but you're really helping people? You're helping to everyone.
Yeah, look, let me tell you something. The nice thing of the internet, online, is the ability of people to collaborate. Never in the history of the world so many people collaborated. You look on the products, like Linux or like Apache or like the web itself. The web itself, the power of the web is that I can put a link to your site and I'm driving traffic to your site because I think it's good for my users. You are not compensating me, but still I put links of other sites and you are doing the same thing. So kind of a worldwide mesh was created by each one doing a little bit. Now this is online, but it's very important, I think, and very helpful, and also give me a lot of joy to bring it to offline, In conferences, you meet with people. Conferences are an amazing thing. I'll give you an example.
Yeah.
You stand in a bus. You are going on a bus, you stand 20 centimeters from somebody you don't know. Because it's the bus.
So there's space between us, right?
Pardon?
There's a space between me and the other person.
Yeah, but very little. And then if you begin to talk in the bus to somebody who doesn't know you, he will be frightened, like you are invading his privacy. In conference, this is not a badge. This is a contract. This is a contract which say that this guy over there doesn't know me. I'm inviting him to come and talk to me on whatever he wants. This is a permission to other people to invade my very private space and to begin to talk to me. And this creates a whole ecosystem. So if you go to a conference and you know how to use conference, which means try to approach people you don't necessarily know. Get engaged in the conversation. Don't sit in the speaking hall. Go to the corridor, spend time in the corridor, then you derive from conference enormous value. You get to meet new people, you get to hear new ideas. It's very interactive, very animated. Instead of all these people here, excuse me for saying it, instead of listening to us, they should go to the corridor and talk to each other, because for them, we are like aquarium, they can watch us, but they cannot interfere in the conversation. If they go to the corridors, they can interfere in the conversation. And I think conferences are the #1 tool to to charge your brain. You know, you charge your battery, or you go to a hotel, to a room, to a workplace. You are very, very worried how you are going to charge your battery. If you spend 3% of the worry of how to charge the battery, how to charge your brain, you will go places. And the number one place to charge the brain is conferences. So this is why I go to conferences.
And also, like, there is a quote that I really like. One of my friends told me, maybe he's in this room, your network is your net worth, he said to me.
Yeah, that's...
Do you believe in this?
Yeah. I think that your network is your main asset. I don't know if it's your not net worth, but you meet a lot of people, and the question, what happened? Either it's like a revolving door, that they come to your life and go away, or you try to keep in touch with them, you try to keep record of them, you know, to invite them to other events, etc. And this way you increase your social capital.
And like, I totally agree with you that like, I go to many events around the world, like DLD is one of the best. Like, networking is huge, and I think that is the value of that event actually. Like, of course, speakers are so important, but again, here at Webrazzi Summit, we really encourage people to meet each other and talk to each other and change credit cards. Don't change credit cards, sorry, business cards.
How happy the people with your conference? How happy the people with your conference? How happy you are with this conference?
Are you happy here? One of our attendees told me once, he said he gave away so many business cards in one day, which he normally gives away in a month. So this is a good thing
So
for me.
you should do what I do.
What?
I don't print any more business cards because I'm giving
this
them
is
to, I have
costly.
to keep printing them, so I stop
So what do
giving
you
them
do?
away. My name is my business card, Yossi@vardi.com, you know, so that's very easy.
So you told your email address to everyone in this room now.
Everybody can send me an email.
Yossi@vardi.com. Okay. Yossi, it was a great pleasure for me having you here. And like, I think you'll be around till afternoon, and then you must go to, I think.
And thank you again for inviting me. You know,
was
I
such a
come
pleasure
to this wonderful city like once a year, and it's always very nice to be here. And the people are extremely friendly. I want to thank everybody for the friendliness and the way they receive guests from abroad. It's really wonderful.
This event is also live streamed on Webrazzi, and there are, I just want to check, because you have a huge fan base here in Turkey, and there are 2,000 people, concurrent viewers on the site now. Like, yeah, they are watching you now live on Webrazzi. So thank you for coming.
Thank you very much.